Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a movie review, and the movie we're reviewing is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, as of recording this particular video, the Rotten Tomatoes score from the critics is 48%, one of the lowest in the MCU, and the audience score right now, with about 50 plus verified, is 86%. Something's disconnected there. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's SINA. She ruckus. Dead beat. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Thank you so much for joining me. As we said, we're going to be doing a movie review, and the movie we're reviewing is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It was just released. I just got out of the screening. I went to see it in IMAX 3D, and I have to say, I disagree wholeheartedly with the critics' score.
Sort of disagreed with you.
But let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the great. Before we do, please make sure you like and subscribe if you like these types of reviews, like this type of content. That helps the channel. All right, enough with the YouTube stuff. Let's get right into the movie, and let's talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. This is the latest installment in the Ant-Man series, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. The movie is rated PG-13, and runtime is about 2 hours and 5 minutes. I watched it in IMAX 3D. According to the description here, Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, along with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, explore the quantum realm, where they interact with strange creatures and embark on an adventure that goes beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. Directed by Peyton Reed, stars Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Jonathan Majors as Kang, and Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. I am not a film critic. I'm not a paid film critic. I do this channel for the love of movies and just to share my opinions as a common person, as a regular moviegoer, and what my experiences are. I have to say, I was a little bit turned off by the critics score of 48%. You know, what tends to happen with movie reviews, and I'll be honest, when I see bad movie reviews, I tend to want to go into the movie giving it a fair shot, but I'm ultimately looking for what are those critiques that they have. Did I see the same critiques that they did? And sometimes I do, and sometimes maybe it's just a bias that's formed in my brain. But in this case, they were completely wrong. Or, again, I differ in their opinion. 48% is very, very low. I actually loved this movie, and I thought it was a great movie. It was a great time at the movies. Is it a perfect movie? No. Is it a great movie? Yes. And it had a lot of great elements and things to look forward to. Now, it does start off a little bit slow. There's a little bit of, of retelling of what's the events have happened up to this point via narration by Paul Rudd. But after establishing characters, things move rather quickly right into the plot of the movie. They get right into the quantum realm. And when I tell you that the quantum realm is this spectacular set pieces, it's characters that you've never seen. If I'm going to compare this to another MCU movie, it would be in the same line of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy is a universally acclaimed and loved movie, but I mean like the set designs and the craziness of the cosmic galaxy. That all was there. They had creatures that you've never seen before. They've had worlds and things interacting that you've never seen before. They're all very, very creative and all in splendid 3D. I'm telling you, if you get a chance to watch this in 3D, you absolutely should. Now, in the start of the movie, you get introduced to Kang right away, but obviously we know who Kang is because we know who the actor is. And so they don't really mention his name until later on in the movie. Once they're in the quantum realm, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, she starts to get a little bit eerie and a little bit weird, and for not a great reason. She doesn't tell you what's going on. She is familiar, right, with Kang, and she knows who he is, but doesn't give you all of the details, and that's kind of the mystery. And I think that was a little bit forced, but again, it doesn't take away from the story for me. I think maybe where there's separation here is what you expected. What you expected in terms of an Ant-Man movie and what you got in this movie. It is definitely a launching pad for Kang the Conqueror, for Jonathan Majors. It kind of makes Ant-Man a secondary character in this, and that's okay. That's okay. But if you came expecting kind of that charming and quirky Ant-Man type movie, you don't get what you asked for. Now, again, It has a couple of pacing issues on and off, but overall, it is a great spectacle. It is fun. It is a popcorn movie. It does help advance the MCU a little bit further, but it doesn't give you that major change or movement. Introduction of characters are amazing, and the different things that can happen in the quantum realm, the different ways that they use the camera and the action pieces and the battles and things that they put together was amazing. Now, I will say I can see the issue with how it ended, because it does. And again, it's tough to do these types of reviews without spoiling the movie. But how it ended, I can see some concerns and some complaints about that. But overall, it was a fun time at the movies. I think Catherine Newton as Casey Lang does an amazing job. She is brilliant in this movie. Jonathan Majors, obviously, but Michelle Pfeiffer, I was surprised at the action that they put her through and the things that she did in this movie, because I wasn't expecting that. Remember, up to this point, she had just kind of been there. So she got to sort of flex her chops. Guys, I enjoyed this tremendously. There were great moments of suspense. I laughed. The set pieces were great. The visuals were amazing. I'm not sure why people are kind of shitting on this movie. The critics are bashing it, but the audience is loving it. Now, again, what did you expect? And I think that's the key question here. And that's how I think what drives some people's opinions of movies is, what did you expect and what did you receive? Going into this, because I saw the low critic score, my bar was set kind of low. And because it's Ant-Man, and I've loved the quirkiness of Ant-Man, but it's never been a vehicle that moves the MCU. So I wasn't expecting this to be a breakthrough film in the level of Infinity War or Endgame. I just thought it was going to be a good movie or a decent movie, and it was going to be a lot of fun. And it was. It was exactly that. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man is perfect. His quirkiness, his sarcasm, his comedy, his delivery, it's there, and it's charming, and it's heartfelt, and it's awesome the way that he kind of goes through this. You can see some emotional range in this performance. Jonathan Majors is going to be a star, obviously, for a long time, and he is at the top of his game, and they are setting up some very, very big things for him in this next phase of the MCU. Now, the one thing I want to mention is that there are going to be some new characters that they introduce. I'm not spoiling it when I say that. I'm just saying there's going to be new characters that they introduce. But much like Guardians of the Galaxy, that's why I do this comparison. They are unknown characters that no one has any idea about, and you end up, in the short time that you see them on screen, you end up loving these characters. You end up having fun times with them, and it was so good. It was so fun. And even when some of them were in peril or they were having some issues, you kind of felt for, you were rooting for them, and that's good storytelling. Now, a lot can be said about MODOK, and I don't know about the lore of MODOK and all this stuff. And those of you who know who he is or who is played by in the movie, you probably know where this is going. But they made that character, which is a ridiculous character in my opinion. I mean, a giant head with tiny arms and tiny legs. They made it fun. Guys, again, as I said before, the movie is not a perfect movie. It is far from perfect, but it was a great time. It was a lot of fun. I cannot tell you the last time a movie finished and I was like, man, that was pretty fun. That was exciting, and that was everything that I wanted. And Ant-Man was that for me. Again, it may not be that way for you, but that's okay. Movie reviews and movie opinions are subjective. If you agree with me, tell me what your favorite parts are. There's a lot of quotable parts in this movie. Let me know in the comments what your favorite parts are. If you didn't like it, you disagreed, let me know why. Definitely recommend it in premium formats. IMAX 3D is how we watched it, and it was amazing. So please, if you have the chance to see it in a large screen or even in 3D, that's what I would recommend. And I am not a fan of 3D because I wear glasses, and so having two glasses on really kind of bums me out in the movies. But it was amazing, and it wasn't forced 3D. It was actually really well done.
English is not his first language.
All right, guys. Well, that's my quick, non-spoiler or spoiler-free review of Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. I definitely recommend it. If I'm going to rate it, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So it was a great movie for me. I enjoyed it. Will I see it again? That's my standard is rewatchability. I would definitely go see this again, and I think I'm going to go see it again. So that's kind of the way I look at movies. If it's rewatchable for me, it equals a great time. It means I want to have that experience again. And there's a lot to see. So there's Easter eggs in there. There's lots of pieces of information, and stick around obviously for the mid-credit and post-credit scenes. Those are pretty good and pretty interesting, and they do tell you about the future of the MCU. So definitely stick around for those. If you want more detailed information, we're going to be talking about it on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on this channel. Check out for the live announcements and hit us up and let us know your comments and join us live for the Big Llama Show. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this review. Go out to the movies this weekend. Go check it out. I'm the Big Llama. This is the Big Llama Show. Remember, guys, be kind, rewind. It's movie night. We're going to see you on the next one.
First off, I don't care what you people say. Never follow rules. I'm a trendsetter anyway. Okay, I march.